Welcome to this explainer. For the last couple of years, we've been totally obsessed with the chatbots on our screens. But guess what? Artificial intelligence is officially stepping out of the digital world and right into the physical one. Today, we're diving into an absolutely wild convergence of quantum computing, massive tech capital, and bleeding-edge robotics. And it's all culminating in a humanoid machine designed specifically to live right inside your home.
So let me ask you a very direct question. Are you actually prepared to share your living room with a humanoid robot? Because, well, the tech industry is currently betting trillions of dollars that you are. Throughout this explainer, we're going to unpack the incredible infrastructure making this a reality, leading right up to the highly anticipated 1X Technologies Neo Gamma. It's a robot that promises to completely redefine our daily lives, and the price tag, it's going to absolutely shock you.
But hey, before these robots can literally walk among us, they need minds of their own. Let's hit Section 1, Powering the AI Brain.
Just look at this timeline from the first half of 2026. The pace we're moving at is just staggering. In January, NVIDIA launched their Rubin supercomputer platform. Fast forward to May, and they introduced Cosmos 3. Now this is a physical AI omni-model, which basically means it doesn't just read text. It actually understands, simulates, and predicts physical environments in full 3D. And then, literally weeks later, Google DeepMind drops Diffusion Gamma, processing over 500 tokens a second. The brains of these operations are officially fast enough to process reality in real time.
Now, this kind of intelligence doesn't just float around in the cloud for free. It requires some massive hardware muscle at literally every scale. Up at the top level, you've got Quantinuum's quantum architecture solving insanely complex data routing. Then you have Tesla's Terafab initiative using Intel's upcoming 14A process to secure dedicated AI silicon. But here's the crazy part. This acceleration trickles all the way down to the desk in your home office. Interacting with these models requires zero latency, which is exactly why Cherry XTRFY is dropping new 8K ultra-wideband keyboards. And because all this processing generates intense heat, we're even seeing Noctua release silenced AIO coolers with Acetec pumps. So from massive server farms to your personal PC, the entire hardware layer is being optimized for AI.
Okay, so we've got the brains and we've got the hardware. Now, let's talk bodies. Section 2, Heavy-Duty Industrial Robotics.
Right now, these brilliant AI brains are being pushed to their absolute physical limits, and the real-world applications are staggering. We've got Kawasaki debuting a 150cc hydrogen-powered robotic horse built for rugged terrain. Up in orbit, JAXA's Intinbol 2 is autonomously flying around the International Space Station, shooting 4K video. Deep underwater, Anduril's Dive XL is out there running long-range, autonomous missions. And back on land, get this. A humanoid robot by Honor, named Lightning, actually raced 12,000 human runners in a Beijing half marathon. It finished nearly 7 minutes faster than the human world record. I mean, sure, it kind of crashed into a railing at the finish line, but the sheer athleticism is just undeniable.
And that brings up a really striking contrast that's emerging in the robotics market today. On the extreme industrial side, you've got heavy, rigid machines. Picture Unitree's newly announced GDO1. It's this giant, wall-smashing, transforming mecha robot built for extreme environments, and it costs a cool $650,000. But then, look at the consumer approach, the 1X Neo Gamma. Thankfully, instead of rigid metal, this one uses a soft 3D-printed nylon knit suit and tendon-driven actuation. It is specifically engineered to be safe, quiet, and gentle enough to wander around your living room.
Which brings us to the ultimate consumer climax of all this tech. Section 3. Meet the 1X Neo Gamma Tech.
Look, the Neo Gamma is absolutely not just some remote-controlled toy. This is a fully autonomous assistant. First off, it taps into those omni models we talked about to actually predict your household tasks. Second, it navigates incredibly smoothly. Because of those soft, tendon-driven joints, it walks with a very human-like gait. That heavily reduces mechanical noise, meaning it's not going to wake you up while it's folding your laundry at 2 a.m. And finally, it uses contextual body language to communicate, so it feels way less like a machine and a lot more like a helpful roommate. And early home tests are slated for 2025.
But here is the real kicker, the estimated price tag. It's sitting right between $20,000 and $30,000. The Neo Gamma is intentionally positioned not as some novelty for billionaires, but as a genuinely accessible consumer appliance. By pricing it basically the same as a small car, the clear goal here is mass deployment, literally putting a physical AI agent into everyday households.
Now, to really understand how these futuristic machines are becoming so capable and affordable so fast, we need to objectively follow the money. Section 4. The trillion-dollar tech empires.
The capital mobilization we are seeing right now is on a totally unprecedented scale. For instance, German startup robotics just closed a massive $1.4 billion round specifically for humanoid production. But honestly, even that pales in comparison to what's happening with Elon Musk's empire. SpaceX and xAI have actually merged. They are integrating the Grok chatbot, the X platform, and the Colossus supercomputer all under one giant umbrella. They even negotiated a $60 billion option to acquire the AI coding startup Cursor. And if regulators happen to block that deal, there is a $10 billion fallback payment. That is a massive 17% breakup fee just to keep a joint development initiative alive. It really shows you just how desperate these giants are to secure this technology.
$1.25 trillion. That is the all-stock valuation of just the newly combined SpaceX and xAI entity alone. The sheer scale of the capital driving this entire infrastructure basically guarantees that this development isn't slowing down anytime soon. The financial momentum is completely locked in.
So, as this trillion-dollar infrastructure starts pushing incredibly capable robots into our homes and businesses, we really have to step back and objectively examine the ripple effects. Section 5. The future of human labor.
In March of 2026, researchers over at Anthropic published a pretty sobering report. They found that, while current adoption in businesses might still be relatively low, AI models can theoretically handle the vast majority of tasks in fields like computer science and administration right now. The report explicitly warned of a potential great recession for white-collar workers as that adoption gap inevitably closes. When you combine digital AI taking over the administrative side with physical AI mastering manual tasks, the labor market is staring down a massive, paradigm-shifting transformation.
Which brings us to our final thought today. As machines like the X1 Neo Gamma move in to become our roommates, as physical AI masters everything from half marathons to our household chores, and as trillion-dollar empires scale all of this globally, we are left to ask, what skills, what traits, and what roles will remain exclusively ours in this new era? It's a fascinating and maybe slightly daunting question to ponder as we literally watch science fiction become our daily reality. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your eyes on the physical world around you because it is changing incredibly fast.